And right now on the Clarity Windows and Doors Newsline, we say good morning to Rayne Guest, Texas entrepreneur, infection prevention specialist, with us to talk about how the Ebola virus is spread. We're hearing more and more about Ebola in the news and some travel risks involved. Rayne, thanks for being with us. How is this thing spread anyway?
Oh, good morning. Yeah, this is spread like many viruses. You touch a contaminated surface and then you give it a portal to enter your body. You touch a surface and then touch your eyes, mouth, nose. It's not aerosolized, right? If you cough and stuff like that, it's not going to spread that way. It's not like your typical flu or COVID. So, the important factor right now is to make sure surfaces are disinfected properly, to make sure our hands are sanitized. Those are the really big steps right now. And it kind of concerns me what we're seeing in the news that, they're doing all this screening at airports, but we don't hear anybody talking about them actually disinfecting flights properly or, upping the disinfection protocols in airports.
I seem to remember in 2014, we had some nurses who were caring for an Ebola virus victim, and they caught it. So even in hospitals, it must be difficult to keep things clean.
Well, it's very difficult to keep things clean in hospitals. They're extremely fast-paced. You have nurses that are trying to provide care and keep surfaces clean. So one of the reasons this virus is spreading in Africa is because of the way that they handle the bodies during the burial process, right? They love to, touch the bodies and kiss the bodies and rinse the bodies. And then that fluid goes over, the people that are handling the bodies. And, that's when it can enter your body through your eyes or cuts or your mouth. So what I'd really like to see is, if they're going to do the handling of the bodies, because I do think it's an important part of their culture, I think they should be dipping the bodies in something like hypochlorous acid and letting them wash the bodies with something like hypochlorous acid, which is actually what our bodies produce to fight pathogens. There's a happy medium here with allowing people to have their burial rituals and do things safely. In hospitals, people are vomiting, they're very sick. The virus can be spread in bodily fluids. And, again, hospitals, they really don't do proper disinfection because of timing. We've done controlled studies in hospitals and shown that in order for them to properly disinfect surfaces with the products they currently use, it usually would take about 3 times the amount of time that they're actually in the room.
Rayne Guest, Texas entrepreneur, founder and CEO of ArrowClean. Rayne, thank you so much for coming on. We sure appreciate you being up early with us on this Memorial Day.
Absolutely.